Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Echo is in daycare today, so I thought we could spend the afternoon together. I'm just about to get ready, so while I do, I thought I could answer a bunch of the questions that I got frequently asked when we put Echo into daycare. I actually have all of my makeup in the bathroom at this house, but the setup in there is just not ideal for filming, so I've put the stuff that I pretty much use every time I go to do my makeup into this little toiletry bag so that I can do it in my bedroom, which is not tidy yet. I haven't done anything around the house yet today since dropping Echo off at daycare, so that is next on the agenda. So Echo started daycare about 6 weeks before he turned 2 years old, and it was pretty soon after my husband and I separated that we actually got him into daycare, which seems like that was the trigger for him going into daycare, but we had actually been looking for quite some time before that. I was just being really stubborn and digging my heels in because I've had some reservations about putting him in daycare for a long time. I don't know why I squeezed it onto my palms like I do with my skincare, because I never apply my foundation this way. But I have had reservations about daycare ever since we lost our daughter Noah Lee. She passed away when she was 2 months old, if you're not familiar with our story, but obviously that makes me want to hold on to all of the time that I have with my son extra. I have a lot of fears about him being in the care of other people, and it's taken a lot for me to wear down those fears and let him spend alone time with family. To do that, I mostly just thought about what was better for Echo. Like, if I was needing to go and do something and it would be better for Echo to be with someone else while I went and did that activity or that errand or that thing, then it was a lot easier for me to allow him to go and do that. And as he's gotten older, thinking about the relationships that are important for him or the activities that are important for him to participate in, that made it a lot easier for me to let him out of my sight. My son is a really active child. He needs a lot of stimulation, he needs a lot of activity, and he needs to burn his energy. And I was finding it difficult to do all the things, including cater to all of those needs that he had. So I was starting to look into daycare for him anyway, because he was showing signs that he was ready. Like I said, needing that extra stimulation, but also that socializing with children his age as well, and he's super confident and very, very competent as well. So I'd been looking into getting him into daycare, things like what ones were close to us, what ones would be convenient to go to, the pricing, the sort of schedules that they had, all of that sort of stuff. I was looking into it, but I wasn't in any rush. I was kind of digging my heels in because I was thinking, like, I'm a stay-at-home mum, I can take care of my son and I want to spend that time with him. And even though some days are really difficult, I was just thinking there's no rush to get him into daycare. I'm dressed for Pilates, by the way. I'm not sure if I mentioned that or not, but I've got a Pilates class tonight, so that's what I'm dressed for. But it's also my little nephew's 7th birthday officially today. They're going away for the weekend, so we're going to do like a little pizza party this afternoon. I'm going to pick Echo up early from daycare to go to that, so that's what I'm making myself look a little bit more presentable for. But my attire is for Pilates tonight, or just like practicality, because I've got stuff to do today as well. Echo, I didn't even need to consider, because every single place that we went to, he looked like he felt so at home. He would go off and play, he was interested, he had the same reaction to every single daycare that we went and looked into for him. But for me, having a certain vibe from the teachers, being able to see how engaged they were with the children, how they communicated with the children, the facilities available to Echo, this place that we ended up sending him to, I was really happy with. So we did a couple of visits there before we landed on it officially, and then Echo started daycare. I had initially just wanted to start him off on a couple of days with half days so that he could come home and have his sleep here. The place that we really liked for him didn't offer that option. It was full days or nothing, so we started him off with just a couple of days and have slowly increased his amount of time in daycare. I can't actually see at all how much or where I'm applying that. His first week went incredibly. Maybe the first 2 weeks went incredibly. He was really confident still, would just go in and get straight into playing, didn't seem to be upset at all when I left. And then it wasn't until I think it was either the second or third week where he started to become really clingy at home, and then he started to become really clingy at drop-offs as well. It really pulled on my heartstrings and made me second guess having put him in daycare in the first place. I was really worried about emotionally what it was doing to him if he was starting to, after being like a really confident little boy and totally fine with distance between him and I, that he was now really concerned with when there was any distance between us. And I know this is a really normal part of child development, but obviously it was really hard for me to experience, and I just wanted to be there for him. So I tried a few different approaches with how I dropped him off at daycare. I tried dropping him off and staying for as long as he needed until he was comfortable, and then once he was comfortable I would sneak off. I hated that because eventually I realized that he was finally starting to get comfortable in the space, and then me disappearing would, cause anxiety for him. So I stopped doing that. I also tried a really quick drop off. So I'd go and we would get a teacher, and he would give the teacher cuddles, and we would separate there, and I would just say, bye son, I'll see when mummy's coming back, and we would leave it at that. With these two options, he was crying, and we could see that as soon as we were out of his sight that he was fine. But still, the fact that he was upset and crying during that point was distressing for me as much as it was probably distressing for Echo as well. So I very quickly wanted to change that approach as well. I also should mention Brogan comes to pretty much every single morning drop off and pick up as well. He is available at that time most mornings, and so he will be there. The only time he's not there is if he has a really early meeting and can't, but majority of the time he is there for pick up and drop off, so Echo has both of his parents there to say hello and goodbye. What ended up working for us is explaining exactly what was happening to him. And I should have known this because Echo has amazing understanding, and in the home, generally speaking, I will always prepare him for things by explaining, we're going to do this today, son. We're getting ready for bed now, son. Like, I always explain everything to him. So I should have known, but this was our third attempt, and this is probably crossing the span of 2 weeks of different kind of approaches to the drop-off. But what worked was explaining everything to him. I would tell him that we were going to daycare, which he was always excited for. He loves daycare. And then I would explain to him that he was going to have a sleep at daycare, and I would explain that he would get to play, see his friends, see his teachers, and that mummy would be back to pick him up after his big sleep at daycare. Part of that was to encourage him to have a sleep at daycare because he's amazing when he's sleeping at home, but when he's in any other environment, things just get a little bit difficult for him when it comes to sleep. So I would explain all of that to him, that I was going to come back and pick him up, and it was like magic. He now doesn't even turn around to say goodbye to us or give us a kiss or a cuddle. He literally just runs in the door, puts his drink bottle down, puts his lunchbox away, and then we have to say, son, come back and say goodbye. More for us than for him, obviously, because he's just so excited to be there. He's always asking for daycare and always talking about it when he's at home, and it's such a relief for me to know that he's having a good time and that he feels safe and comfortable, and he knows that me and Brogan are going to go and pick him up that day as well. One of my favorite things is at the end of the day when I pick him up and he's so excited to see us, but when he's covered in crayons, pens, sand, when he's got a wet pair of clothes in his bag because he's been playing outside with water, when he's so messy. It's just the best feeling knowing that you know he's had a full day doing activities that he otherwise wouldn't have been doing with you, because let's be honest, I cannot provide the same amount of stimulation and activity to the degree that they do at daycare, and it would probably just stress me out to be doing all of that. So it's really nice that I can send him to a place where he's having that much fun, and when we get all the little updates to see what they've been doing each day, it's such a nice feeling. I still occasionally get a little bit of anxiety around him being in someone else's care. I try to think about all of the positives, but occasionally I'll see something online, or I'll see something in a movie, or I will just have a thought about something and it really makes me panic and second guess having him outside of my care. I just, sometimes go down the rabbit hole of thinking about all the things that can hurt your child, and it's just a lot easier to manage when you see it happen, or when you're there to comfort them, knowing how big or small the importance of that hurt is. Whereas when they're in daycare or when they're in someone else's care, you literally have no idea what has happened, and it's up to them to tell you what might have happened, or they might be keeping it secret, or they might be downplaying it. Those are the sorts of anxieties that I have, but I try to focus on all of the positives for Echo. There are also so many positives for me. One of the best parts about Echo having a set time that he's outside of my care and knowing that he's still enjoying himself while he's doing that is that I'm a lot more present with the time that we do have together. So we obviously have the mornings, we have the afternoons, then we have the days that he's not in daycare. And where usually I would have to cram in everything that we had planned for that week, everything that I needed to do for the day, things like taking care of the home, taking care of myself, and taking care of Echo. I had to try and combine all of that into the day, and I would get really overwhelmed. I would get stressed because while there are other things that need taking care of, Echo demands my attention 24/7. So I've really been loving that the time that I do spend with him, I don't really go on my phone. I don't really do anything around the house. Like, if it's going to be easy and it's not going to upset Echo for me to, I don't know, wipe down the bench or just something, toddlers are very, I can't remember the word, but where you just like never know what's going to happen. The randomest things can trigger them, and you just kind of have to play it by ear. You cannot have any expectations because you just never know what you're going to get. But I just spend a lot more time focused on him. I let the house get messy. I let the toys get everywhere. I let the crumbs stay on the floor, covering the bench. I am just fully present with him and taking care of him, and even myself. Like, if I don't get to shower before I take him to daycare, that's fine, because I know that once he's in daycare, I'm going to have that time to be able to focus on getting the house back in order, having my shower, getting ready for the day, filming, checking my phone, answering emails, answering messages, relaxed time. I really didn't realize how fatigued I was going to get, and it's even more so with a toddler. One main activity just knocks me off my feet and I need to have a nap, and I just think it's because with a toddler you're so enthusiastic about everything. You're using this extra energy, you're on your feet, you're chasing after them, and so it's nice to know that I do have the availability to have a nap during the day, and it's not neglecting my son at all. A couple of days ago I did a proper deep clean, like the bathroom and toilet and dusting and all of that sort of stuff around the house. So for the rest of the week while Echo's in daycare, I will just do like a general tidy, but I just need to do a vacuum, spray and wipe the benches, and put everything back in their places, which is a really quick activity. And I said that really weird, it's a very quick activity, and then the house will be in order, and I'm just the sort of person that functions and relaxes a lot better when my space around me is organized. If I have time, I'm going to go for a walk before I pick up Echo early from daycare so that we can go and have a pizza party for my nephew's birthday. This is my walking outfit, and it's gonna have to be my party outfit and my Pilates outfit as well. So my leggings are just from Lorna Jane. My shoes are the New Balance 9060s. Socks, the high neck underneath this jumper and the jumper are all from Cotton On. My glasses are Lovlies. My little claw clip, well, big claw clip because I have so much hair and I need the giant ones, is also from Cotton On, and my little bag is from Lorna Jane as well. I'm taking this so that I can carry my camera and also my phone with me on my walk. But yeah, that's the little fit, and this little bean in here is Eva. Was so good but so hard in the best way. I'm exhausted now, so I'm gonna go inside, have a shower, and just crawl into bed with my book and a hot chocolate. Thank you for watching, guys. I will see you guys next time.